that, hey, you need to go to these local events, attend the meetups, fake it till you make it, and you should target the people you want to target, and make a list of people you want to meet, and on one side of your checklist, on the other side of your checklist, you should have all the things you need to get done. This is nonsense. Let me tell you what I do. Because I had enough sense in the beginning to know that half of the shit people were saying just
sit back and relax and get ready for another exclusive episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast with Lopez.
This episode is brought to you by the best AI software online called Goody. That's Goody. Goody will help you create all content for your blogs, websites, newsletters, articles, ads, and even pictures. LinkedIn posts, Twitter, you name it. All you got to do is go to lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. And the best part about Goody is absolutely free. That's right. It's free for the first 7 days. You can cancel at any time. Goody will help you create all your contents for your blogs and websites online. And it's 100% absolutely free, full access for the first 7 days. All you got to do, just go to my website. That's lopezthesane.com/Goody. That's Goody. Or just click the link in the show notes and get started today. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to meet and network with people at live events. So like and share this episode. So how do you meet people at live events, meetups? How do you meet people that you never seen before? Strangers. How do you walk up to somebody and introduce yourself? So that's what we're going to talk about today. It's going to be all about networking. Because the old saying goes, your network is your net worth. There's a lot of wisdom and a lot of truth in that phrase. So I'm going to tell you what works, and I'm also going to tell you what's being told on the internet mainly, and what's being told by what's been told in the past. And a lot of this stuff, it doesn't work. I'm going to be honest. I'm being brutally honest. It doesn't. The way a lot of people are telling you you gotta dress good, look good, have a nice haircut, have your nails done if you're a woman, be nicely dressed, smell good. Of course, we already know all that. That's a given. Yeah, you gotta look good. That's a given. Yeah, your breath shouldn't be stinky. Yeah, that's a given, I would think. I couldn't be wrong. You tell me. But a lot of stuff people are saying, just socially speaking, it doesn't work. Because most people just don't socialize in these types of ways that people might be telling you to do stuff. People are telling you to walk up to somebody, introduce yourself, rattle off a bunch of stuff that you do, and then you ask them a question. What can I do to help you? I'm like, how the hell do I know? I don't even know you. You just rattle off a bunch of stuff about you. I don't know nothing about you. Never seen you in my life. I don't even know if you can help me. I don't know anything about you. This is what people are being taught to do. And people are paying people at these live events. And they're telling them, walk up to a person, say, hey, what can I do to help you? I have no idea. And I've had people ask me this question too. I've had people ask me, hey, what are you working on right now? And I'm like, well, I don't have anything new, but this is what I've done over the past year or two. I usually start from there, and then once I tell them what I've done, they start to look at me like I can't help you do none of that shit. That's what usually happens. Once I tell people what I've accomplished, what I've done within the past 6 to 12 months, and what I'm working on, they can't help there's a good chance they can't help anyway. So that's why I say it doesn't work in most cases. It doesn't work because people are being taught, hey, before you go to the event, you should write down, have a list of a target group of people or persons that you want to meet. And then on the right side, they'll say, hey, write down all the things you want done, right? They'll say, write down everything you want done on this chart, this imaginary chart that they have you, right? And then they say, well, when you get to the event, look for these people and talk to them, introduce yourself or whatever. The only problem with that is you're not really being genuine. It's more of you're trying to get something from this person and you're not really trying to give anything. And you want to know why that is? Because most of the time, most people don't have anything to give. They're like pariahs, like predators. They're just trying to, they'll say, hey, you should target people. Target your market, right? You probably heard people say that. Yeah, that's cool. Targeting the person you want to meet or your market or whatever. But you have to have something to give. That's the part they forgot to tell you. They forgot to tell you that, hey, it's a relationship is both ways. This is not, hey, it's not just one thing. That's the part that the gurus online or the event that you're attending, they forgot to tell you that part. They forgot to tell you that you might have to give something to get something. It doesn't work in most cases, Now, and then people be like, okay, now I met the person that I want, or whatever. So they'll get a card or whatever, if they got one from the person or whatever. And they'll go back home, and you know what they'll do? Well, no, before they even get home, they might call the person the next day, like, and the event is the next day too, right? Or maybe this person might be going home by this time. They might have spoke on stage, or they might be going back home. So they'll send the person an email or might even call the person because the number is usually on the card, on the business card. They'll call the person and say, hey, this is Darnell from yesterday. I met you at the event. And meanwhile, now keep in mind, this person was on the stage and came off the stage and probably met, I don't know, hundreds of people at this event. There's over 500,000 people at this event. And you're on the phone talking to this person, and they 9 times out of 10 they don't remember you. unless you said or done something to really stick out. In most cases, that ain't the case. That ain't the case. Most people that walk up to you, they're about the same. Or you send them an email talking about the same thing you said on the phone. Hey, I saw you at the event yesterday. I was happy to meet you, blah, 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 this and that, whatever. Hey, why don't we get on the phone and pick a day and time on my calendar and we can chat it up, right? I'll follow up with you, right? And 9 times out of 10, the person doesn't pick a day and time on the calendar to talk to you. 9 times out of 10, you're never going to see that person ever again because they don't want to talk to you because they know that you really don't have anything to offer them. You can't really help them do anything because you came through the door, your initial approach, and we can pick up on this type of shit. Your initial approach was basically you trying to get something. You're desperate. So you're trying to get something from this person and you're not really trying to build a real relationship with them. You're just trying to get something as quick and as fast as possible. And the other person can pick up on it. And I've had people done this same thing, very similar thing to me over the past 15 years. This is one reason why I don't go to free events, and I'm not saying the paid events are better, but I would say this: the free events, most of the people like the meetups, groups and stuff like that, local meetup groups, most of these events usually is a different crowd. There's that free crowd where people don't know. They don't have anything to offer you there. They don't know how to do anything. Not only, they haven't started anything. They're just basically, the local free crowd meetup are usually people that they're just thinking about doing whatever they're thinking about doing. And that's usually the average crowd of people or average group of people that would show up at the local meetup events. They're just thinking about it. They're just like testing the waters, so to speak. Now, if it's a paid event where someone has to get on a plane and go to the event, I'm gonna say that's gonna be a mixed crowd. There's gonna be some people there that's established, some people are beginners, and some people that's been doing it for a long time. But even within that mixed crowd, you still have to be careful because you have a lot of people that are perpetrating. They act like it might be established. They act like they know what they know. But once you get to know them, you be like, oh, you really don't know anything. You've been perpetrating since we met. Because it ain't but so long this person can go without having to demonstrate. And once they start talking, once you get to know this person, once they start talking, and once y'all decide to work together, if you want to anyway, with this person that you just met, you're gonna learn real fast that either they know what they know or they don't. You're gonna find out. Even if it's a podcast that you might be doing with the person or any type of collaboration, you're gonna know real fast if this person is for real or not. Because they're gonna have to show and prove. Can't fake it till you make it. But so long. It ain't but so long you can go by faking it till you make it. That don't work in the long term. So in most cases, none of this shit works, unfortunately. And there's somebody right now being told that, hey, you need to go to these local events, attend the meetups, fake it till you make it, and you should target the people you want to target, and make a list of people you want to meet, and on one side of your checklist, and on the other side of your checklist, you should have all the things you need to get done. This is nonsense. Let me tell you what I do. Because I had enough sense in the beginning to know that half of the shit people were saying, just socially speaking, doesn't work. And the only reason why I knew this because I've been around the world and traveled and met so many people in my 20s. So by the time I got in my 30s and I started hearing all this rhetoric, I'm like, oh, that shit ain't gonna work. People don't operate like that. See, the problem with a lot of people out here have bad social skills. A lot of people don't really know how to be a person. They're not comfortable in their own skin. I am. Hopefully you are too, right? So when I go to an event, I don't care if it's free. I don't care if it's paid. But I don't go to free events anymore. I stopped doing that. But if I go to an event, a conference, trade show, it doesn't matter. My approach is the same. I'm actually genuinely curious about the other person. Like, I really want to know if I think somebody's cool, if I get a good vibe from the person or whatever. If I don't get a good vibe, I just move on. But if I get a good vibe that this person is genuine, maybe they're thinking just like everybody else is thinking. But I'm like, wait a minute, they're a little genuine. They're willing to listen or whatever. Maybe they started something, but they just need a little bit more, a little direction or whatever. They're no hand holding now, but they need a little direction. And maybe what they're doing, it could be a good collaboration in some type of way. Even though the person might have the wrong approach, I'm still willing to get to know them and hear them out, if that's the case. So I'm generally curious to know about the other person. That's my approach. I'm not so quick to know what they do, and I don't even ask people what they do in the beginning. That's not really the first thing I ask within the first 5 minutes of the conversation. Cause that's what most people do. Most people say, hey, what's your name? What you do? That's the first. They ask that initially, right? I don't do that. I ask them, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where you from? How you like the event? This your first time? I'm generally curious about them. I want to hear where they from, what brought them here, why they decide to come here, why this event with this person, and on and on and on. I'll get to what they done and what they can do. I'll get to that later. So that's how I approach the situation. Man, this person might not be able to help me do anything at this given moment, right? But maybe down the line, we can do something together. That's how I look at it. That's how I approach it. Because there's been times where I've met people that didn't do anything online. And I've just known them for 2 years, 5 years, and we just decided to make something happen. We decided that, hey, we can do this together. You ever thought about doing this? You ever thought about doing that? And they said, no, but you know what? Yeah, I would like that. And it just started from there. We already had the relationship. We already had a solid relationship. So it just started from there. And voila, we make it happen. We did something special, But if I would have took the same approach like most people, that would have never happened. So you have to actually genuinely I mean, if you care anyway, and you want it to last. And it can't be, there's a lot of people that say, oh, I got a business relationship. Well, what the hell is that? What does that mean exactly? What the hell is a business relationship? What is that? That's not real. I mean, what I don't even know what that means. People say, oh, it's a business relationship. And as soon as the business get rocky, they out. They don't have no relationship no more with the person. That's not real. That's not genuine. That's fake. That's basically a business transaction y'all have. Because one thing that I've learned is people will say, yeah, you need to go meet people, have business, be business partners or whatever. What does that mean, really? Because I've seen a lot of business partners break up. They break up. As soon as things start getting rocky, a little shaky, one person wants to sue because they think the other person lied, and one person want to be bought out, and they want to go about their separate ways all of a sudden. I'm like, what type of business relationship is that? It sounded like they weren't on the same page. So it's not real. That's the point I'm trying to make. If you want something to really work and to last for a long time, you really need to get to know the person first. You really need to get to know what type of person you're dealing with first. Get to know the man or the woman first. Then you can get to the job, the business, whatever you want to do with this person later. Because if you can get the relationship part right, nothing else is going to really pan out in the end, based on my experience. You might have a different experience. You might say, hey, I disagree with all that shit you said. I have my personal relationships and have my business relationships, and I don't mix them together. That's great if that works for you. But that didn't work for me. That didn't work for me. And based on what I've seen, that don't work for most people. That mentality, that cutthroat mentality where, it's as soon as you start not to get what you want, as soon as things start not to pan out the way you would like, you want to, cut everybody off and go your separate ways in a heartbeat. Well, that cutthroat, everyone can't have that cutthroat mentality. Let's keep that in mind. Everyone can't operate like that, unfortunately. And I don't know if that's unfortunate or not, but I know everyone can't operate the same because everybody's not the same. Everybody's unique. Everyone is their own man or their own woman. So it would make sense to think that, hey, just because he or she operates in a cutthroat manner, that don't mean I should necessarily do it. Just because you can do something, that don't necessarily mean you should do it. That's what my father told me when I was growing up. Just because you can do something, that don't mean you should necessarily do it. Just because somebody else is doing something, that don't necessarily mean you should do it either. That's what my father told me when I was growing up. And it makes sense. So, let's recap. When you meet people out here at live events or at any event, right? You should generally be curious about them. Get to know the man and the woman first. Get to know, find out what they're about, what they've done, where they're from, why they came there, why they decided to come there, why this event. Get to know them first on a personal level. Then you can decide on if y'all gonna do something together, collaborate, or build something together later. That's how I do it. Just be open no expectations, and they might not be a good match for what you have going on. They might can't help you do anything, but they might know somebody that can help you. Always keep that in mind, because the person that you're talking to know at least 100 people. So just because they're not a good match, they might know somebody that is a good match. So always keep that in mind. You know, it's not about, sometimes it's not about who the person is. Sometimes it's about who the person knows, or who knows this person that you're talking to. So keep that in mind always. You know what I'm saying? So if you like this episode, share this episode. Tell me what you think below. And any questions, any concerns, you can always send me an email at support@kingofcashflowwebsites.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace. Alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight, but then I saw the stallion that I like. Here from God.